Hi, this is Tony Crystal from the Training Center. Today I'm going to do a video on a traditional CMA, seller CMA, using Moxie Present. So from the Moxie Present hub, you would have signed in hub.hlagents.com. That's the sign on. Once you sign in once with your password, your Outlook 365 password, you won't really have to sign in again. Maybe you may get logged out and you might have to put your email address in once in a while, but that's it. You should go right to Present. So from here, I'm just going to press Present or Present. Either place is going to take me into the Moxie Present home landing page. So for this, again, I am just going to do a seller traditional CMA, and I'm going to show you how to add some pages to that. So I'm going to go over here and create new. This is how you create a new presentation. Create new. You have 4 types of presentations. There's the buyer presentation. This is to strategize a price maybe with a buyer. This is the traditional seller CMA. That's the one we're going to use today. So I'm going to click it for the radio button. But we also have a buyer tour presentation. This is for people that maybe want to have a nice presentation for their buyers over the weekend or during the week. When you're showing something to them, you can add the properties you're showing. You can put some information about the community that you're showing, adding videos, adding photos, and information. And then, of course, the non-listing presentation is all up to you. Think outside the box. Create whatever you think is fun. You can do create your own testimonials and review page. You could create pre-listing packets, pre-buyer packets, create a newsletter. There's so many things that you could create in the non-listing presentation. But for today, I'm going to start with just the seller CMA. Continue. Once I press continue, then it wants me to include a template or use a template that I saved. You could pull down here. First of all, if you just scroll, right now the brokerage templates, that's the default. So I could scroll down and pick a couple of them that we may have used in the past. This is the default seller that Moxie gives us. It's 13 pages. We also have a CMA for Houlihan Lawrence. It's the basic. That's also 13 pages. You could do the full CMA template, which has got a lot of added pages, and you can remove pages if you wanted to do that. You could do that. And of course, another enhanced CMA. These are actually my CMAs. These are the brokerage CMAs. I'm sorry. You could also click on that little arrow going down, and you could create and use a CMA from the My Templates. These are the CMAs that I've created on my own. This is my favorite CMA package, and I'll show you when we get into the CMA how easy it is to save your own CMA. But for this experiment and our presentation today, I'm just going to go with a default package. Either one would work. I'll take this one. Continue. You need to prepare it for, and you need to put a name here. So let's just prepare this for James Crystal. You want to pull down the MLS here that you're going to use. I happen to belong to just one key. But if you belong to more than one, make sure you pick which MLS you want the system to search. So if you're clicking one key, it's searching one key. If you're clicking Mid-Hudson, it's searching Mid-Hudson. If you're clicking New Canaan, it's searching New Canaan. If you're clicking Smart, it's going to search Smart. And then I belong to one office, really, White Plains, but I also have a corporate account. And you're going to press Create. So you want to fill the page out. Who's this for? What's the listing source? And what office are you in? Create. It's going to take 1 second, literally, and you'll see this circle on my screen here, and it's generating a live feed for my presentation. And everything in Beacon, everything in Moxie Present is a presentation. So the first thing you're going to see is the template pages. There's 5 pages you're going to create and fill out. The subject property is always going to be the first. And then you also have a photo availability here where you can add photos to your presentation. When we're finished with our pages, I'll show you how to view this because you can view it in web version or portrait, which is print for you to still print and bind. And you can even send this to a client very simply by clicking the send button, putting their email address, subject, greeting, message. The send presentation is the digital version, and this is the PDF version. I like to send them both, and then make sure your box is checked here to send you a copy. We'll do that later. Let's go with subject property. So this is an important box here, the location, because it's searching a Google map, and this does work best with Google Chrome. So the location is very, very important. If I was going to add this information in from scratch, I'm going to put the location in. I'm going to put the school district in. I'll put in the property type. I'll put in the bedrooms and bathrooms. I'll put in all of the information that I have relevant that I have into my subject property and remarks. So this is a very important page. You have another option besides doing this from scratch and adding all the information on your own, which is probably what you're going to do. The system will search back for 2 years. So if I know a listing is only 2 years old, it should find it for me. It may not. Let's try it. Again, I'm using one key, and in one key I have to use an H in front of my number. But those of you that are using any other MLS, you do not have to do this. You only have to put the MLS number, and you do not have to put in any kind of H in front of the number. Just one key. I'm going to press copy, and then my entire template will be filled in. Not the entire thing, but most of it, because I'm using an MLS number that's in the system. I'm telling you, it will not always find it. If it does find it, more power to you. The photo will populate in. Of course, if it was my old listing, that's my photo. If it's not my old listing, it's not my photo. So you may want to just go by and take a picture of the house and drop that photo in there. All the information here, 15 Hotel Drive, White Plains, and all of the information is here. I might want to add 2-car garage or attached garage. Oops. So you can add information if you want to. Exteriors, brick. So that is one thing that has to definitely be looked at. So here is my subject property. And I'm good with this. Everything's filled out. You can change the comments. You can put the information, prior listing information here, and just press continue. So that's if I was going to take it from an old MLS. If not, you're going to just fill in the blanks. The next tab over is the search tab. Now this is a very important tab. It is originally going to start at the location. So it's going to search this location for where 15 Hotel Drive is. I can filter price. I can filter bed and baths. And I can filter, maybe I only want to see actives. Maybe I want to see solds back 1 year instead of 6 months. Maybe I don't want to see off market or contingent. I do want to see that expired. So I might remove some of these checkboxes. And whatever I do here, just make sure you press apply. So now my properties that location search is searching are here on my page. I'm going to tell you that this will pull up a lot of properties, but it won't maybe pull up every single thing that you want. So you may have to still go into your MLS, One Key, or New Canaan, or Smart, Mid-Hudson, and you may have to pull your own MLS numbers, and you can do that, and I'll show you that in a second. Right now I'm still under my location search. I still see all the properties here. Anything in red is sold. That's my subject property. Anything in yellow is pending. Anything is green is active. The other thing that I want to do here is click on the properties that I want to use for my comps. So I could pull the details here if I want to look at this house. You do it that way. There's many different ways this comes up for you. So this is in the neighborhood. It's like right around the corner. So I'm probably going to use it even though the house may appear to be bigger. I could see the photos. I could see that this is pending at this price. I could see who has the listing. All that information is in front of me. I'm going to take that let's click on the plus and turn that to a check. That is one of my comps. One comp. Let's go to DuPont. Again, you can go through all of these and check the details. You may already know this property and you don't have to do this. This looks like it's probably a little bit of a smaller house, but it's still in Kennedy Farms. It's still dated the same. Actually, the living room looks almost identical. I'm going to take this property as well. And then I can go down the page. I'll take this one. Again, you know where you are working and what properties are active and what properties are good comps and not good comps. So you'll notice that it's showing me a couple of things in Scarsdale, and that's because it's a radius map from the Google search. So right now I've picked 4 listings. I'm good for that. I'm going to just go and continue. But I know that there's several of them that didn't come up that I might want to use. So let me just go over here and do another search. These will stay in place. Back to my search tab, so you can go back and do these things all over again. In this instance, I'm going to turn this into the multiple listing, and I want to add an MLS number here. Once again, please remember, if you're using one key, you will have to put a H in front of the number. It doesn't matter if it's capital or not. I'm going to go with H60753. And the reason I'm using this is because it's in White Plains Schools. It may not be an exact comp, but it's in the White Plains School District, so I do want to use this property. The location is different, but it's still a Tudor home, same style, so I want to use those 2 properties. And I may have 4 or 5 of them. As long as you put an H in front of the number, MLS number, and a comma, you should be fine. And just press the little search button, and those 2 properties will populate. I need to check the plus mark to make it active so that it's one of my comps. Now I have 4. Now I have 5. So now I have 5 comps. My next page over, I'll just press the continue button to move on, is going to be the listing comps that I'm using for this CMA. One thing I want to do here is I want to order by, and I kind of think I'm going to ask if they could default this to active to sold. I think most people like active to solds. Active, pending, solds. Now here, a couple of things. You can remove a property. Maybe you don't want it anymore, easy enough to take away. You can view the details again. Click on view details, and there's that property with all the photos for me to take a look at. So you have that option continue throughout the entire CMA. Maybe I want to edit the remarks. I don't like this, it's just too much information. I could take it out and put what I want in there. Another thing you might want to do is, I don't know if anybody uses adjustment, but you can certainly try that. Remarks, brand new kitchen, high-end, chef's kitchen, and it costs them $10,000. I don't know, $100,000 more like it. Save. It's up to you if you use that or not. A lot of people always ask for that, so it's here now. You can use it. And the other thing I want to make sure that you understand is that there's so many off-property listings. There's many listings that are not coming through MLS. So it's a little difficult for us to do our MLS and our CMAs when those properties are not appearing on the MLS as credit or as a sale or listing or active. You can add a custom listing here very easily by just clicking on that box, and then you're gonna see the box come up. It looks very similar to the subject property that we did earlier. And basically, it's just a template to fill in all the information. So you could put the address and you just fill it in. So that would be adding a listing that is a non-MLS listing. I'm going to remove it because I'm not going to add anything, but just know that you can add more listings at any time, that this is an active feed. So whatever you see here, this property right here on Chadwick, it's pending. If within the next week it goes to sold, this will change on the digital version. It will not change on the print version. The print version is a static document. Print document format, PDF. It's not going to change, but the digital version will update. Every time your seller opens it, it will update. And the only way to get rid of that from happening is to delete the presentation. So that's the tabs: subject, properties, search, listings. Let's go to estimate. This is a cool page here. This is an estimate. So some people like to put it in, some people don't. Again, it's going to give you the pricing stats. It's going to give you the listing summary of the comps that I used. It's going to give you an opportunity to add create range. So a low and a high. So cover yourself. I think this property is going to sell for 1 million, I don't know, let's just say 1.3, and I think it's going to go from 1.3 to 1.350, something like that. And you just press apply. You can even put a percentage in there, 1% of the asking price. So that's a range. You don't have to use that at all if you don't want to. But under the remarks, I think this is kind of important where we're in such a hot inventory low market. I want my owners to know that. So I'm probably going to put remarks in here and say, this is a great opportunity to list with low inventory and many buyers. It is a seller's market if priced right. So again, it's what you put in that box. It's your choice. What I put in my box, my choice. It doesn't have to be the same. I'm going to click continue. Now I'm on my last page. That's the pages. This is what the presentation cover page looks like. It will have your client's name if you typed it in, the address, the date, and your picture. Now, if you are sharing this with another agent, you can actually add that other agent as a co-presenter to this presentation. And I'll show you that in a second. The next page is subject property. There's the subject property. Remember I said the more information you put in here, the better it is. And a photo is pretty important. Otherwise, it'll be a green box. Listing location map. This is kind of fun. If you click on the little number on the map, it'll take you right to that listing. Here it is. It'll take you right to that listing. Here it is. And you can just also use a carousel and move this along on your own. Again, anytime I click on the property, it's going to give me the details of the property. So you can watch that and look at that at any time. Remember now, this is what my client's probably going to see when they get this. The listing overview is a very important page because all of you know that when you go to print this, and everyone will print it, my suggestion is to send both a printed version and a digital version. And the printed version, sometimes it could be 50, 60, 70 pages. Oh my Lord, you don't want to do that. So you have the opportunity here under the listing overview to click this pencil. And you can turn the pictures off. If you do that, just the front photo will show up on your printed version. The digital version will never be changed. It'll be always the entire list of photos. However, what I like about this is the PDF include photo selection show, so that my photo shows, but I can change this to, I only want 10 photos to appear in my CMA, 10 photos. So now I have my CMA coming and printing with 10 photos as opposed to 30 photos because it's pulling them all from the MLS. That's all you have to do. Now remember, here's the side by side. What's nice about this also, I could actually take things out. So I could press the pencil on the side by side, and I don't want to include specific boxes here. Maybe I don't want to include in the pricing section, I don't know, I'd probably want all of that. Let's try the features section. Maybe I don't want waterfront. This isn't something I need here. So you can actually modify this by unchecking boxes. Whatever boxes are checked is what you are going to see in the presentation. The next one is going to be the listing averages. Status comparisons. This is another page. It looks like a property evaluation page that we had, similar with your actives, pendings, and solds, the property, the comparable, beds and baths, square footage, price per square footage, lot, acres, and then if you pull that with the little arrow, it'll tell you the list price, And what's nice about this is the sold prices. It will show you the list, the sold, how much did they get percent list to sale price? 98%. They were on the market for 24 days. So this page still exists. It just looks a little different. I like that page. Listing averages. Here are the listing averages. Again, if you don't want to include this in your presentation, just remove it. Price and days on market. This is just a little scatter graph. 14 days on market, 24 days on market, 90 days on market. And that's the same for the price and size. This is 37.66 at 1499. This is 32.15 at 1245. So these are pages you can include or not. Maybe you don't want them. It's up to you. The pricing analysis page. This is where that range comes into play. The average price and sold comparisons come out to 1245, but when they do the price based on square footage, it ends up being 1389. So I'm kind of a little low, I guess, on this end. Net proceeds, this is something that if you were to put some information in here, it would show up on this page. I didn't show you that, but I will go back and show you in a second. Agent profile is always going to be here. So your nice profiles here. The great thing about your profile, you can actually print your profile. Not there, but in the profile section. I don't know what I would edit. Oh, I guess you could show your photo or not. I would show my photo. So before I show you how to add pages, because this presentation is pretty much basic and done, I'm going to go to the estimate page here just to show you this. Remember I put that range in. I think I'm going to change this range to adjust to 99 and apply that. So I changed my range. The other thing here is estimated net proceeds. This is cool. I like this page. At first I wasn't so sure, but now I do. So it's giving me my averages, my listing summary, all of that. But it's giving me, I could be sitting with my homeowner or doing a Zoom call with them, and we could go over their expenses right here. What are the net proceeds? Estimated seller. If you got 1,300,000, 1,300,000, and you have a mortgage of, and again, this is something you don't have to feel comfortable with if they're willing to give you this information, 600,000, and the commission is 3%. It'll give the permission amount, which I like. What's your attorney fees, title insurance? What are the taxes on the property? What's the state tax percent and dollar amount? If it's a mansion tax, I guess you could put a 1 there, right? Let's see what happens. $13,000. If it sells for 1.3, my mansion tax is $13,000. Any repairs that need to be done. If you're in a condo co-op, what are the maintenance fees? What are the HOL fees? So these are really nice to have. And you could also add custom costs like my attorney fee, or they have to get an oil tank removed, oil tank fee. So any kind of fees can go here. It's awesome a page. I think it's a great page. Save it, and then that will show up on my presentation. So now the last page, of course, was the pages, and we just reviewed all of them. I can love this presentation. It's a very basic one, and save it. Save as a template. And then I would call it, Tony's basic CMA template. I could add pages to this because we have some fantastic broker pages here that you can use. So let's go to add page, add from my library. And in my library, I have pages that I've put in, my pages, and I have brokerage pages. You want to go to the brokerage pages for starters. There's 264 of them. These are folders. So the broker pages are within these folders. Do you remember that pricing in today's market? There's 3 pages here. Just click it, pricing in today's market. I want to add, I want to add, I want to add, but let me see what it looks like first. Pricing in today's market. Remember this page? This is the page that you all love. It's from our Beacon CMA. They made a couple modifications here, but this is the page. And guess what? There's a little add button right there for me to use. It's now added to my presentation. Remember, I had 12 pages, now I have 13 pages. Let's add, remember this page, a CMA takes into account pricing in today's market. Okay, I'll add that. Now I have 14 pages. Let's go and add the marketing plan of action. Remember this page? Add it if you want, don't add it if you don't want. It is up to you. Add. Now I have 15 pages. So those were those brokerage pages. I could go back to my broker pages from there or from up here. And let me see what my marketing slicks look like in White Plains. There's 53 pages. Every office has a marketing slick if the numbers were in favor of your office. Marketing slicks. Let's go to White Plains and grab, let's say, the volume. I'm just going to add that. Maybe I'll look at it first. Okay. Oh, that's Yorktown. Wrong one. Sorry. Let's go to White Plains. I'll take the market share. And that's what my page looks like. We were out front 28%. I want to add that for sure. The next page I want to add, brokers pages. Maybe I want to add something from the marketing program now, or from the seller handbook. This is a CMA, so maybe I want a seller handbook. Let's say there's 20 pages here. Everyone is labeled. I might want deciding to sell your home. What distinguishes your property? Seller's guide, preparing your home for sale. I'll take that. And then 5 steps to help sell your property quickly. I'll take that. But that's all I'll take for now. That's all I'll take for now. I have to go back in there and check something out. Okay. So then there are 18 pages I have now. So let's just go with what I put in here. There's so many other things you can put in here. Just know that the pages may land at the top. Some of them may land at the bottom. I need to move them around. I like pricing in today's market to be up front. What a CMA is, maybe that's first. And my marketing plan of action. Sometimes I like to put that down at the bottom. So just move it. You just move it down. That's all you do. Just move it down. And otherwise, I think all these other pages are fine. Again, remember, I can do whatever I want here. I could add pages. I could remove pages. And if I love this CMA, I'm going to save as a template. Tony's favorite template. So let's just go with the 18 pages for now. Let's view it and see what it looks like. View. I want to see what the web view looks like. And the web view is basically a live data feed. So anything that changes will change on here, on the live data feed. Except for this page. Of course, it's a static PDF. That's not going to really change. These numbers will not change on here. This will not change on here. The only thing that will change are the active listings. So here's some preparation for sale. 5 steps for helping you sell. This is my subject property. This is the location map. This is my listing overview. And then there's my side-by-side that I modified a bit. Here's my side-by-side comparison, sorry. There's my status comparisons. Now you can move this along by pressing the arrows on the right, or even just clicking the 3 lines here. That's going to give you all the pages as well. So let's see, I want to see what my net proceeds page, remember that page that I pulled up? Oh, if I get 1.3 and my costs are 691,000, my proceeds would be 609. It's going to calculate all that information for you. I like that. And then here's the marketing plan of action. And then here's the bio. That's my presentation. Let me show you how to see it in print. That's the digital version. I just showed you web. Print is the portrait version. And this is going to generate the portrait version, where you can print it and bind it like you've always done in the past. My suggestion is I send both, and that's because of COVID time mostly. I can probably sit at a table with a homeowner and there may be some other people there. So if everyone has a copy of this presentation, we can all be on our own devices and watch as opposed to one computer. Everyone could be in the room, but everybody could be viewing it on their own device. iPhone, iPad, computer, laptop, computer. That's what I really like about it. So this is what it looks like when you print. There's two different print covers, by the way, but this is the one that's the default right now. So there's my presentation. I'm going to download it to my desktop if I want to, print it if I want to, download or print it. And if I go back to my Moxie Present, I can also go back to my home page. And if I want to send this, I could send it from that page where we were just at, or I could edit it by pressing the pencil. Maybe I found a new listing came on today. By the way, it's not going to bring up new listings that come on the market. It's only going to update the ones that are there. Only the ones that are there. Hold on, I got to call. I'll answer him back. I know it's my son. I'm sorry, in the middle of this video. And then that's pretty much it. If I pull down here, I could pull down. Here is another opportunity for me to view, share, email, change the name, duplicate, delete, archive, quick flyer. I could quick flyer, assign to an agent, or I can even add a co-presenter. If you want to add a co-presenter, maybe you have two people doing this with you. Let's add Michelle Reggio. I'll add my sister. Crozier. Pick her name, add it, and now she is a part of my presentation. So when I go to do the web view on this, she will be, hold on, there's two people here, you see. She will be on the presentation. Both of our pictures will appear. If you're sharing this and you have two people going on the presentation, you will see two agent photos. There you go. I'm not sure if you can add more than two. Someone might want to try that. It's possible, but I know you can add two. All right, so that's my Moxie presentation to you. I know it was long, but I hope I answered any questions you might have for now. That was just a simple, quick, traditional CMA by creating new, picking the seller, and then following the steps. Now remember, if you want to come back and edit, you always press the little pencil and it will take you right back into the CMA for you to make any modifications that you want to make. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you join me on the next presentation. Signing off.